Sometimes betrayal doesn't come with shouting. Sometimes it comes with silence. It was a quiet Sunday evening when Emma Rodriguez realized her marriage was already over. She was sitting at the small dining table of their apartment, scrolling through her phone, waiting for her husband to come home. The food on the table had gone cold. The candles she had lit for their anniversary dinner were half melted. It was their 4th wedding anniversary, and he wasn't answering his phone. Emma was 28 years old, born in San Diego, raised by immigrant parents who ran a tiny grocery store. She grew up counting coins, working after school, and dreaming of a life built on hard work and honesty. She wasn't rich, but she was disciplined, intelligent, and quietly ambitious. When she married Ryan Parker, she believed they were building something together. Ryan worked in sales at a mid-sized tech startup. He wasn't successful yet, but he talked like a future CEO. Emma supported him emotionally and financially. She helped him practice presentations, she edited his emails, she even invested her savings into his startup idea when he failed to get bank loans. She believed in him more than he believed in himself. But success changed Ryan. 3 months ago, his company got major investors. He started wearing designer clothes, driving a leased luxury car, staying late at work. Suddenly, Emma became invisible. That Sunday night at 9:47 p.m., the apartment door finally opened. Ryan walked in. No flowers, no apology, no smile. Emma stood up slowly. "I made dinner. It's our anniversary." Ryan loosened his tie and avoided her eyes. "We need to talk." Those 4 words froze her heart. He sat down, rubbing his forehead. "I met someone else." The sentence landed heavy and sharp. Emma didn't scream, she didn't cry, she simply sat back down. "For how long?" she asked quietly. 2 months, he replied. Emma laughed softly, more in disbelief than humor. "So while I was helping you prepare investor presentations, you were preparing another woman?" Ryan looked uncomfortable but not guilty. "She understands my lifestyle. She's from a wealthy family. Her connections can help my career." Emma's hands clenched under the table. "So this is about money?" Ryan sighed. "It's about growth." "Growth," Emma repeated, "or greed." Ryan stood up. "I've outgrown this marriage. You're holding me back." That sentence broke something inside her. "You wouldn't be standing here without me," Emma whispered. He shrugged. "Things change." He packed quickly, only took his important things. He didn't even look back. When the door closed, Emma finally cried. She sat on the floor of the living room, surrounded by memories, wedding photos, travel souvenirs, birthday cards, all meaningless now. But Emma wasn't weak. The pay didn't destroy her. It woke her up. The next morning, Emma checked their joint account. Ryan had transferred almost everything, left her with barely enough to pay rent. That was the moment she stopped feeling sad and started feeling dangerous. She opened her laptop and accessed something Ryan never knew about. Before marriage, Emma had quietly built investment portfolios. She had learned finance from online courses and mentors. She had crypto assets, stock investments, and private savings accounts under her own name. She wasn't rich, but she was strategic. Emma smiled slightly. "So he left me for money," she whispered. "Let's see who really controls it." She began researching Ryan's company. Ownership structure, investors, shares, weak points. She discovered something interesting. Ryan's company was struggling with cash flow despite investor hype. They needed funding urgently. Several shareholders were dissatisfied. Emma saw opportunity. She contacted an old business mentor, Mr. Lewis, a retired venture capitalist who once helped her with stock investments. They met at a cafe. "You want to buy a company?" he asked, surprised. Emma nodded calmly. "Yes, and I know exactly which one." Over the next weeks, Emma quietly bought small shares through third-party accounts. She invested in competing startups. She negotiated with dissatisfied investors. Piece by piece, she started building control. Ryan, busy enjoying his luxury lifestyle and new girlfriend, didn't notice anything. He thought Emma was broken. He thought she was struggling. He didn't know the woman he left behind was preparing to buy his world. One night, Emma stood by her apartment window looking at city lights. She whispered, "He left me for another woman, but soon I will own everything he worked for." And that was only the beginning. Ryan Parker thought life had finally rewarded him. He moved into a luxury apartment with his new girlfriend, Samantha Blake, a social media influencer with wealthy parents and expensive taste. He posted pictures of rooftop dinners, sports cars, and champagne nights. He thought he had won. But while he was celebrating, Emma Rodriguez was working, quietly, relentlessly, strategically. Emma turned her small apartment into a command center. 3 monitors, financial charts, investment dashboards, company reports. She studied Ryan's company, Novatech Solutions, day and night. She learned everything: who held the largest shares, which investors were unhappy, which managers were frustrated, which contracts were unstable. Novatech was popular on the surface, but weak inside. Cash flow problems, delayed salaries, increasing competition. Investors were nervous. Ryan didn't know because he trusted his finance team blindly. Emma contacted shareholders anonymously. She didn't reveal her identity. She spoke professionally, offered better exit deals, promised stability. Some refused. Some accepted. Little by little, Emma increased her ownership. She also invested in Novatech's competitor companies, increasing pressure on Novatech's market position. Meanwhile, Ryan's ego grew. He bought a luxury watch, upgraded his car, started talking about becoming CEO someday. Samantha encouraged him. "Soon you'll own half the company," she said. Emma smiled when she saw his social media posts. She didn't feel jealous. She felt amused. 2 months later, Novatech faced a crisis. One of their major clients canceled a contract. Investors panicked. Stock value dropped. This was Emma's moment. She made her biggest move. Using her mentor's network, she arranged a private investor meeting. She offered emergency funding in exchange for controlling shares. The board agreed. They needed money. They didn't ask many questions. They just wanted survival. And just like that, Emma became the majority shareholder of Novatech. Ryan still didn't know. He was informed that a new investment partner had joined the company. He didn't care. He thought it was just another investor. Emma didn't rush the reveal. She wanted the perfect stage. She began influencing company decisions from behind the scenes: new management strategies, cost optimization, marketing changes. Novatech started improving. Sales stabilized. Public image recovered. Ryan took credit for it all. He proudly told Samantha, "My leadership saved the company." Emma watched interviews online. She laughed softly. 3 weeks later, the board scheduled a mandatory executive meeting. Ryan arrived confident. He adjusted his tie and smiled at the executives. He had no idea his world was about to collapse. The room was silent. The chairman stood up. "We'd like to introduce our new majority shareholder and strategic director," he announced. The door opened. High heels clicked against the floor. Ryan looked up and froze. Emma walked in calmly, dressed in a dark blue business suit, hair tied back, eyes confident, strong, powerful. The room went silent. Ryan's face turned pale. Emma? He stuttered. It's Emma, she said calmly, your ex-wife. His hands began shaking. You can't, whispered Ryan. Emma sat at the head of the table. I can, she replied calmly, and I did. Ryan stood up suddenly. This is personal revenge, he shouted. Emma looked at him coldly. No, she said, this is business. You taught me the value of money, remember? The executives avoided eye contact. The chairman cleared his throat. As majority shareholder, Ms. Rodriguez will now oversee strategic leadership. Ryan's power was gone, just like that. But Emma wasn't done yet. This was only the beginning. The real humiliation was still coming. Ryan Parker didn't sleep that night. He sat on his luxury bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the moment Emma walked into the boardroom again and again. Her calm voice, her confident walk, the way everyone looked at her with respect. The woman he left behind, the woman he underestimated, was now his boss. Samantha tried to comfort him. It's temporary, she said. You'll get your position back. Ryan didn't answer. Deep inside, he knew the truth. Emma wasn't playing. She was controlling the game. The next morning, Ryan arrived at the office early. He wanted to talk to Emma privately. He wanted to fix things, apologize, negotiate. He walked into her new office. Glass walls, city view, executive chair. Emma stood near the window holding a coffee. You look different, Ryan said nervously. Emma turned slowly. So do you, she replied, less powerful. Ryan swallowed. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have left you. Emma raised an eyebrow. Which part do you regret? Losing me or losing your company? Ryan stayed silent. That was his answer. Emma walked to her desk and opened a file. You said I was holding you back, she said calmly. Now let's see how far you go without my help. She slid the paper toward him. Termination notice. Ryan's hands shook. You're firing me? He whispered. No, Emma replied. I'm restructuring the company. Your role is no longer required. His face turned red. This is revenge, he shouted. Emma looked at him coldly. This is consequence. Security escorted Ryan out of the building. Employees watched. Whispers spread. Phones recorded. The man who once bragged about success walked out carrying a cardboard box. Emma didn't feel happiness. She felt peace. Days later, Novatech's rebranding was announced. New leadership, new direction. Media covered the story. Woman buys ex-husband's company after betrayal. From wife to CEO, Emma Rodriguez's powerful comeback. Emma gave one interview. She said, I didn't do this to hurt anyone. I did this to prove that betrayal does not define a person. Growth does. Samantha disappeared from Ryan's life soon after. Without money and power, he was no longer attractive. Ryan moved back into a small rented room. He watched Emma on television. Strong, successful, unstoppable. One evening, he sent her a message. I finally understand what I lost. Emma read it. She didn't reply. She deleted it, because she had already moved on. Emma expanded Novatech globally. She invested in women-led startups. She helped young entrepreneurs. She bought her parents a beautiful house. She stood on a stage 1 year later, receiving an award for Business Leader of the Year. While holding the trophy, she said, He left me for another woman. I bought his company, but the real victory was buying back my self-respect. The audience stood and applauded. Emma Rodriguez was no longer someone's wife. She was someone's inspiration.